Despite dying in 1989, Marcos wasn't buried until 2016, over 27 years later.
What? Combo style. What's up, everybody? Dio here, back with another reaction for you. All right, listen, today, 101 facts about the Philippines. Man, this is gonna be, I know this is gonna be good, all right? Before we get to it, I wanna just shout one person out real quick. Shout out to Adino Jacob Tabor. Adino Jacob Tabor, man, appreciate you, love you. Thank you so much for supporting Rel and I. We love what we do, and we cannot do it without supporters like yourself, so thank you so much, all right? If you would like a shout out on the channel, all you have to do is follow the directions in the description, all right? Right before we get to this reaction, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification, and you can also follow us, of course, on Instagram, and the handle is below, all right? Let's get right to it. 101 facts about the Philippines. I'm ready, let's go.
Good evening, motherfuckers. My name is Sam, and today I'm not going to be telling you anything, as I'm away on a hashtag vacay. Amsterdam, actually, since you asked, but more like Amsterdam, am I right? Or Amsterdam, or Samster. Sorry, off topic here. The point is, I'm not here, but my good pals Chris, Leaf, and Jacob will be giving you the lowdown about the fabulous cluster of tropical islands known collectively as the Philippines. Yes, the nation known around the world for its stunning beaches, fabulous wildlife, and near ubiquitous nurses. But why should you be very careful before getting married in the Philippines? Why do the people of Manila despise Claire Danes? And will this video go ultra viral and inspire an all-expenses trip funded by the Philippine Department of Tourism? Let's hope so. 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered. So, crank up that volume, surround yourself with a varied selection of snacks, and prepare yourself for a non-stop Filipino extravaganza.
Let's go.
This is 101 facts about the Philippines. Take it away, boys.
Number 1. The Philippines, known officially as the Republic of the Philippines, is a unitary sovereign country in Southeast Asia. Boom! Fact 1, knocked right out of the park. We are off to a phenomenal start, guys. We should be proud of ourselves. Okay. Number 2. Situated in the Western Pacific Ocean, the Philippines is surrounded by the South China Sea on the west, the Philippine Sea on the east, and the Celebes Sea on the southwest.
Okay.
As such, the Philippines shares maritime borders, meaning borders for water, with China and Taiwan to the north, Vietnam to the west, Palau to the east, and Malaysia and Indonesia to the south.
Nice.
Number 3. According to the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, the Philippines consists of 7,641 islands.
That's a lot.
Which frankly is a large amount of islands.
Woo!
Interestingly, only 2,000 of them are inhabited and nearly 5,000 are still entirely unnamed.
Wow.
Sounds haunted. Time for an adventure.
Sounds
Right, Jacob?
Sure.
Number 4. I want to eat it. The nation's numerous islands are broadly categorized into 3 main geopolitical divisions. Luzon in the north, Mindanao in the south, and Visayas nestled between them in the middle. How cozy. These 3 areas are further divided into 17 regions, 81 provinces, 145 cities, 1,489 municipalities,
Goodness.
and 42,036 barangays, the native Filipino term for a village.
Okay.
Number 5. The Philippines has a total land area of 343,448 square kilometers. That's a little smaller than the US state of New Mexico. Shout out to all New Mexico fans and Old Mexico fans. We did a video about you, not New Mexico, Old Mexico. But we love you all.
Number 6. As the Philippines is located both on the Pacific Ring of Fire and fairly close to the equator, the country is highly prone to powerful earthquakes and typhoons. On the other significantly less scary hand, the position of the Philippines also grants it abundant natural resources and staggering biodiversity.
Nice.
In fact, number 7. The Philippines is one of only a handful of mega biodiverse countries in the world, owing to its fabulously extensive range of flora and fauna, including numerous endemic species, which are organisms found nowhere else on Earth. Such species include more than 170 different types of birds and 100 types of mammals. Number 8. In prehistoric times, the archipelago's earliest inhabitants were likely the Negritos, which refers to a range of populations inhabiting various isolated areas of South and Southeast Asia. The term Negrito isn't particularly politically correct by today's standards, as it is a Spanish word that essentially just means little black person, referring to the group's relatively short stature and superficially African features of dark skin and tightly curled hair.
Okay.
Number 9. The Negritos were followed by successive waves of people from various other areas, such as Indonesians, Malay, Chinese, and Austronesians. Even the faraway Arabs eventually got around to visiting the islands that would later become the Philippines. Number 10. In 1521, an explorer by the name of Ferdinand Magellan landed in Homenhon Island, located in the eastern Visayas region of eastern Samar. Magellan was a Portuguese explorer leading a Spanish fleet, marking the beginning of the Hispanic colonization of the archipelago. Europeans arriving in a faraway land? No, sounds sketchy. You know what they're like.
Number 11. Oh damn, it's your boy! A few years later, in 1543, the Spanish explorer Ruy López de Villalobos dubbed the archipelago Las Islas Filipinas in honor of Philip II of Spain, and the name stuck. Interestingly, Philip II was the Spanish king who sent the Spanish Armada to conquer England in the name of Catholicism. Didn't work well for you though, did it, Phil? Number 12. The Philippines ultimately became part of the Spanish Empire for more than 300 years, resulting in Catholicism becoming the fledgling nation's dominant religion, which it remains to this day. However, the Philippines is officially secular, with the separation of church and state specifically outlined in the Philippine Constitution. Number 13. Regardless, the nation's highly Catholic society makes the Philippines one of only 2 predominantly Christian nations in Southeast Asia, the other being the tiny super Catholic nation of East Timor. Number 14. During this time, Manila became a trade hub that connected the West to Asia via a trans-Pacific trade route used by large trade boats called Manila galleons, which did lots of trade. The route connected Manila with Acapulco in the Americas, taking spices, silk, porcelain, and gold to the New World in exchange for delicious Mexican silver. Number 15. Against the backdrop of increasing indigenous rebellion in the form of the Philippine Revolution, Spain ceded the Philippines to the United States in 1898 as part of the settlement of the Spanish-American War. It was all kicking off, basically. Put all of this in, Leaf. Number 16. In response, Filipino nationalists established the First Philippine Republic on the 1st of January 1899. But the United States refused to recognize it. Little over a month later, the Philippine Republic declared war on the United States, and the subsequent fighting became known by various names, such as the Filipino-American War and the Philippine Insurrection. Hostilities ended on the 23rd of March 1901, with the capture of Philippine President Emilio Aguinaldo, ending the First Philippine Republic. Number 17. Aside from a brief period of Japanese occupation during the Second World War, the United States retained sovereignty over the islands until 1946, when the Philippines was finally recognized as an independent nation. With this, the Philippines became the very first country in Southeast Asia to gain independence after the Second World War.
Interesting.
Number 18. In 1965, however, a charismatic former lawyer by the name of Ferdinand Marcos was elected president, winning on a now hilariously ominous slogan of "This nation can be great again." Though initially popular, public opinion began to...
Wow, the slogan, "This nation can be great again." So here in America right now, President Donald Trump is the president currently. He's currently running for a second term. But his slogan is "Make America Great Again." Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Had to turn against him and his infamously shoe-hungry wife, Imelda Marcos, owing to widespread poverty, rising inflation, rising crime, and a whole lot of corruption.
Yikes.
Number 19. Since the Constitution prevented him from serving a third term, in 1972, Marcos declared martial law in order to remain in power. A national curfew was imposed, press freedom was curtailed, international travel was banned, and an estimated 50,000 opponents of Marcos were jailed, exiled, or killed.
Oh my God.
Number 20. Following rigged elections and the murder of one of his main political opponents, Benigno Aquino Jr., the rise of the non-violent People Power Revolution eventually forced Marcos to flee from the Philippines in 1986, finally ending his 21-year-long totalitarian regime. Marcos died in 1989 in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Number 21. Despite dying in 1989, Marcos wasn't buried until 2016, over 27 years later.
What?
Furious debates over whether Marcos deserved to be interred into the National Heroes Cemetery prevented his burial for years. And for a long period of time, his body was preserved in a glass coffin inside a refrigerated crypt in the northern province of Ilocos Norte. He was finally buried on the 18th of November 2016, to much protest and outrage from those who understandably consider him a dictator, not a hero.
What? Okay. If you're from the Philippines, you have to let me know. Did you know that fact? Is that true? Did he really go that long without being buried? That seems just crazy. But I could understand the conflict of the people wanting him buried at a certain place because of, some were for him, some weren't for him. So I can understand that. So let me know. Just curious.
Do you think Marcos should have been buried in the Heroes Cemetery? Let us know in our temporarily very political YouTube poll. Number 22. Since the death of Marcos, the Philippines has seen several presidents come and go. Benigno Aquino III, who served as the 15th president of the Philippines from 2010 to 2016, is nicknamed Noy Noy. Not only that, his 4 sisters are also known by nicknames: Veal, Chris, Pinky, and unfortunately, Ballsy. Number 23. The current president is Rodrigo Duterte, who was elected on the promise that he would reduce crime simply by killing tens of thousands of criminals. Duterte has repeatedly claimed that he personally killed 3 people accused of kidnapping and rape while serving as the mayor of Davao City in Mindanao, despite earlier statements from representatives that he shouldn't be taken literally. Number 24. Sadly, the Philippines continues to struggle with political violence even in the 21st century. In fact, there have been over 1,200 political assassinations in the Philippines since 2001. Number 25. The flag of the Philippines is made up of 2 equally sized bands of royal blue and scarlet, with a white triangle on the hoist side containing several stylized stars. The flag also has a unique feature, as it is flown with the blue band at the top during peacetime and with the red band at the top when the country is at war.
Gotcha.
And now it's time for your boy Leaf. Actually, I'm going to tag in for this one. It's going to be Milo now for number 26. The Tar volcano on the Philippine island of Luzon is one of the world's 17 anonymously named decade volcanoes. These angry lava-shooting hills are being specifically monitored based on their history of large, destructive eruptions and proximity to highly populated areas.
Well, that was weird.
Coming for you. Hashtag bring back Sam.
Number 27. Tal is also notable for its physical geography, as it is located inside a lake on the main Philippine island of Luzon. In addition, the volcano's caldera contains a lake, inside of which sits a small island called Vulcan Point. This makes Vulcan Point the world's largest island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island. Number 28.
It's funny that they're talking about Tal, the volcano, and the recent eruption that happened. That was rather crazy, and I know Rel and I was doing a few months ago, we did some more history, if you will, on the Philippines, and they were talking about the volcanoes, and it kind of made me a little, leery to even visit because of all the volcanoes that were there, and just to find out that happened just recently was kind of devastating. So prayers still for all those who were impacted by that volcano, but interesting history, no doubt. Let's keep going.
When Mount Pinatubo on the Philippine island of Luzon erupted on the 15th of June 1991, the volcano ejected 10 billion metric tons of magma. It was bad, basically. However, luckily, early detection of the eruption enabled the evacuation of tens of thousands of people,
awesome.
saving numerous lives.
Awesome.
Number 29. In addition, roughly 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide was ejected into the atmosphere. Over several months, this cloud of toxic gas spread all over the planet and was so significant that it actually caused average global temperatures to drop by 0.5 degrees Celsius.
Goodness.
Number 30. In the Philippine island province of Camiguin, there are 5 main towns and more than 10 volcanoes, the largest concentration of volcanoes per square kilometre in the world.
Number 31. The Philippines typically experience 5 earthquakes of moderate magnitude every year,
Wow.
7 earthquakes of major magnitude every 10 years, and 1 large magnitude earthquake also every 10 years.
That's a lot.
It's a very wobbly country, basically. Number 32. The Philippine island of Palawan is well known for its jaw-dropping natural beauty, but it's also the location of an 8.2 kilometer long underground river, making it the longest in the world. At least it was until divers discovered a subterranean stream in Mexico that measures roughly 10 kilometers in length. God damn you, Mexico. Like, we can't have nice things, Mexico. Oh my god, it's number 33. The Philippine Trench, located to the east of the Mindanao Island in the Pacific Ocean, is the third deepest spot under the world's oceans after the Mariana Trench and the Tonga Trench. It stretches down around 6.5 miles deep, which is almost as deep as Sam's unerring love for Jennifer Lawrence. Sam, it's creepy. Please stop. Number 34. The rice terrace of the Philippine Cordilleras are a UNESCO World Heritage Site and are reportedly around 2,000 years old, though there are conflicting studies that suggest they may be considerably younger than that. Regardless, the terraces are staggeringly beautiful and are often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. Number 35. The national symbol of the Philippines is the Philippine Eagle, which is the largest eagle species by length and wing size.
Didn't know that.
Declared the national bird of the Philippines in 1995, the Philippine Eagle is also known as the monkey-eating eagle, due to the largely incorrect belief that they eat monkeys. It is also critically endangered, and as such, killing one is punishable by 12 years in jail.
Wow.
Number 36. The Philippines has the highest rate of discovery of new animal species on the planet. In fact, 16 new species of mammals have been discovered in the last 10 years alone. That's a lot of mammals. There's too many mammals. Number 37. The Philippines is home to the endemic Philippine mouse deer, the world's smallest hoofed animal. Known locally as the pilandok, this darling little bundle of fragile sweetness stands about 40 adorable centimeters or 16 precious little inches tall at shoulder level. Look at its little hoofs. Oh. Number 38. The Philippines and its neighbour Indonesia are the only places on Earth other than the Americas where skunks can be found. In this part of the world, they're called stink badgers, as they were once incorrectly thought to be more closely related to badgers than skunks. Number 39. Gollum suluensis, a species of shark discovered off Palawan Island in the western Philippines, gets its name from Gollum, the wretched, emaciated character from the legendarium of J.R.R. Tolkien, who was corrupted by the One Ring created by the Dark Lord Sauron. You'll know all about this because you've no doubt already watched 101 Facts About Middle-earth and the Lord of the Rings, right? Right? Number 40. Apparently, the offspring of a zebra and a donkey, variously known as a zonky, zebronki, or zedronk, was first bred in Manila Zoo all the way back in 1962.
Wow.
Get down with your bad self, zebronki.
Zebronki.
Number 41. Over 900 species of orchids grow in the Philippines. That's something you know now. Let's hope it didn't replace anything important. The meaning of life. As of 2015, the Philippines has a population of at least 100 million people.
Wow.
Each with their own thoughts, feelings, dreams, and aspirations. As such, the country is the 8th most populated country in Asia and the 12th most populated country on Earth. Number 43. Interestingly, depending on your definition of the word, roughly 10 million additional Filipino people live overseas, forming one of the world's largest diasporas. In the United States of America, for example, Filipinos are the second largest Asian American group, second only to the Chinese. Number 44. In fact, the Philippines is the world's largest supplier of nurses, with about a quarter of all overseas nurses coming from the country. Thanks for the medical help, Philippines. We promise never to film ourselves riding a BMX off a balcony and onto a trampoline and into an above-ground pool ever again. Promise. Number 45. There are roughly 170 individual languages spoken in the Philippines, including cool-sounding languages like Ilocano, Cebuano, and Waray. English and Filipino, the standardized form of the Austronesian language of Tagalog, are the country's 2 official languages.
Number 46. The term Tagalog is derived from the phrase Tagailog, which means from the river. Oh, that was a nice quick fact. Nice, streamlined, easy to edit. Number 47. There is a variant of Tagalog known as Konyo that is generally used by upper-class youths in and around Manila. As such, the term Konyo is often used to refer to those entitled rich kids themselves. Apparently, deliberately, as the word originates from the Spanish word coño, which is, a very bad word for female genitalia. Number 48. According to the latest census, at least 52 million people in the Philippines speak English, making it the 5th largest English-speaking nation behind the US, India, Pakistan, and the UK.
I think that is so interesting. And you know, as I engage with a lot of our subscribers, I'm always impressed on how well they know English. It is by far amazing. And one of my friends, James, even told me that a lot of them, when they were growing up and going to school in the Philippines, that they would score way better in their English classes versus their Filipino classes. So I always thought that's an interesting fact.
Number 49. The capital city of the Philippines is Manila, located in the northern region of Luzon. The city was founded on the 24th of June, 1571, by a Spanish conquistador called Miguel López de Legazpi, and has a fairly small population of about 1,780,000 people. However, number 50. According to the UN, Manila is the most densely populated city in the world, with over 46,000 people per square mile.
Interesting.
It really depends on who you ask, however, as different sources use different parameters to get different results. Basically, truth is an illusion and everything is meaningless.
Number 51. Manila was named after the white flowers that grow on mangrove trees, the nilad, or Scythophora hydrophalacia if you're a scientist, or just a tedious knob. The phrase Maylinad translates to there are nilad there. Number 52. The first Filipino saint came from Manila. Named Lorenzo Ruiz, he was executed in Japan for refusing to renounce his Christianity, despite having been brutally tortured. As such, Ruiz is also the patron saint of the Philippines.
Wow.
Number 53. The southernmost district of the city of Manila is called Malate, which is thought to be a corruption of the Tagalog word malate, meaning salty, which was, incidentally, my nickname at school. Don't ask.
Why did they say
No, seriously, don't. Just forget about it, alright? Number 54. When viewed from above, Manila's city hall looks like a coffin. It was designed to look like a shield of the Knights Templar emblazoned with a cross, to symbolise the protection of the country under the Roman Catholic Church. But no, that's a coffin. That just looks exactly like a coffin, that's what that is. Number 55. Being in such close proximity to China has obviously had a profound effect on the Philippines. Unsurprisingly, Manila's Chinatown dates back to the 16th century, making it the oldest Chinatown in the world, not including actual Chinese towns.
56. While promoting the film Broke Down Palace in 1998, American actress Claire Danes described Manila, in which the production filmed for several months, as a ghastly and weird city. She went on to say that Manila smelled of cockroaches with rats all over, and that there is no sewage system and the people do not have anything, no arms, no legs, no eyes. In response, Manila's city council voted to declare Danes persona non grata and banned all of her movies from being shown in the city. Number 57. Tomas Claudio Street in Manila was named after the first Filipino victim of the First World War. Claudio moved to the United States as a young man in search of a better life before deciding to enlist in the US Army in 1917. The following year he died a month after being wounded whilst fighting in Europe. The Philippine government later decided to name one of the streets in Manila in his honour.
Nice.
Number 58. But enough about the apparently ghastly and weird city of Manila. The country's most populous city is Quezon City, with a population of 2,761,720 people, over 1 million more than Manila. Quezon City actually was the nation's capital between 1948 and 1976, when it was moved to Manila. Number 59. Marikina City in Luzon is often called the shoe capital of the Philippines, owing to its large shoe industry. The area doubled down on this reputation in 2002 with the construction of the world's largest pair of shoes. The beefy brogues measure at over 5 meters long, almost 2.5 meters wide, and 2 meters high. Number 60. Really makes sense, but you do what you like, Chris. Canlaon City, located on the Philippine island of... Jacob, I can't say it. Negros, is home to the Wonder Tree of Canlaon, a massive tree that is estimated to be around 1,330 years old.
Wow.
Number 61. Often considered the unofficial national dish of the Philippines, adobo is a dark stew of chicken and or pork cooked in soy sauce, vinegar, crushed garlic, bay leaf, and black peppercorns. The flavour is so popular that you can buy adobo flavoured varieties of Filipino snack foods such as nuts, chips, noodle soups, and corn crackers. Number 62. One of the most interesting Philippine dishes is balut. And by interesting, I mean deeply unappetizing and frankly unsettling. Very simply, balut is a boiled fertilized duck egg with a half-developed bird embryo inside. It is said to be an aphrodisiac, which is incorrect. Number 63. Other unique Filipino dishes include camaro, which are field crickets fried in soy sauce, vinegar and sugar. Papaitan, a stew made from goat or cow innards, flavored with the animal's own bile. And soup number 5.
Wait a minute. Anything with crickets. What? Seriously? That's crazy. I couldn't imagine eating a dish with crickets in it, with any kind of insect or species of any sort. I don't see myself, but it may be good. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Let me know if you've tried it. That's interesting.
A soup made out of the testicles and penis of a bull, which again is considered an aphrodisiac for some strange unknown reason. Nintendo 64. Owing to the shortage of tomatoes during the Second World War, the Philippines has a ketchup alternative made with, prepare yourself, bananas.
What?
Yes, Bananas. The sauce isn't naturally red, so it is dyed to match ketchup's traditional crimson hue.
Interesting.
At number 65. It has been estimated that Filipinos send about 400 million text messages every day, adding up to roughly 142 billion texts per year. That's more than the total number of daily text messages sent in the US and Europe combined. As such, the Philippines is now known as the text messaging capital of the world.
Crazy.
Number 66. In 2014, Time magazine ranked Makati, a city in the Manila metropolitan area, as the selfie capital of the world. Yes, it is apparently Filipinos that struggle the most with the trappings of modern vanity. 'Tis folly, I say. Folly! Number 67. In rural parts of the Philippines, most women give birth at home. A local custom involves burying the baby's placenta beneath the house, often along with an object that symbolises what the parents hope the child will grow up to be.
Wow.
In urban areas, however, this practice is prohibited by the health authorities, because you are literally burying bio-waste underneath your house.
Interesting.
Number 68. Mature members of the Bagobo, the largest indigenous group in the country, are known to practice tooth sharpening, in which a file is used to grind their pearly whites to a point. The group also blacken their teeth using burnt plant matter, as black pointy teeth are a sign of beauty. Obviously. Number 69. Not to people who are willing to waste perfectly good military hardware, the people of the Philippines repurposed thousands of army jeeps that the US military left behind after the Second World War, and turned them into public transportation vehicles called jeepneys. Modern versions of the jeepney can accommodate up to 18 people and are often creatively adorned in vivid and colourful kitsch designs, including paintings of basketball stars, cartoon characters, religious sayings, and even flashing neon lights. There are roughly 50,000 jeepneys operating in Manila alone.
Nice.
Number 70. In fact, Filipinos are so proud of their jeepneys that they even sent one to be exhibited at the Philippine Pavilion at the 1964 New York World's Fair, to stand as a national image of the Filipino people.
Wow.
Number 71. Filipinos are known to observe an extremely long Christmas season, beginning with the playing of carols in September and ending for most people on the 6th of January
That's
with
crazy.
the Feast of the Three Kings.
That's so awesome. Like September all the way to January. You know when Christmas is for us? December 25th, and that's it. Like, you know, right after Thanksgiving, you know, people prepare for Christmas, but it's not until that day. It's not until Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's so amazing that the Philippines would celebrate Christmas all the way from September to January. That's crazy. I like it.
Around 4 months in total. This makes it the longest Christmas season in the world. Number 72. As part of the festivities, Filipinos often celebrate Simbang Gabi, or Night Mass, where devoted Catholics attend 9 dawn services in a row leading up to Christmas Eve. If a person attends all 9 masses, it is said their wish will be granted. But with services beginning as early as 4 a.m, the holiday conflicts with my personal belief to not wake up that early in my life ever. It's what Jesus would have wanted.
Oh, God.
Number 73. Another notable Philippine holiday is the Day of Valor, which honours those who fought during the Battle of Bataan in the Second World War. After the battle, approximately 75,000 Filipino and American troops were forced by the Japanese to march over 100 kilometres to prisoner camps. Thousands died of exhaustion, starvation, or execution. Number 74. There is a figure in Filipino folklore known as the Really? You want me to say that? Oh, Aswang. A mythical, shape-shifting, evil spirit that combines traits of vampires, witches, and ghouls. The Aswang is said to eat fetuses and small children, favouring their hearts and livers, presumably because the internal organs of the young are particularly delicious. Number 75. Basketball is the most popular sport in the Philippines.
Yes.
The Philippines Basketball Association is the first and oldest league in Asia, and the second oldest in the world, after the National Basketball Association in the United States.
Number 76. Though cockfighting has long been abolished in many nations, it is still very popular in the Philippines. In fact, the country is home to a huge cockfighting competition known as the World Slasher Cup, staged in Manila's Araneta Coliseum. That is not good. That's not good.
It's crazy.
Number 77. Spider fighting in the Philippines is extremely popular with young people who will even store multiple spiders in Matchbox stables. Apparently, the Filipino youth are too good for Pokemon Go. Snobs, the lot of them. Number 78. Filipinos love a good shopping mall, or shopping centre as we daintily call them here in jolly old England. In fact, the Philippines is home to 3 of the 10 largest shopping malls in the world. Number 79. The Philippines is the world's largest exporter of coconuts and tropical fruits, such as papaya and mangosteen.
Wow.
Mangosteen, which I now understand is not named after nor in any way related to Bruce Springsteen, has been cultivated in Southeast Asia for thousands of years. Number 80. Very real first names that very real Filipino parents chose for their very real Filipino children include Bing, Bong, Bambi, Joker, Honey Boy, Girly, Peanuts, and Bum Bum. These aren't especially gendered either. You genuinely may bump into middle-aged men called Babe.
Number 81. The modern yo-yo was invented by a Filipino-American by the name of Pedro Flores.
That's dope.
In fact, the
Heard
word
about this.
yo-yo comes from yo-yo, which means come back in Ilocano, the third most widely spoken native language in the Philippines. Number 82. The antibiotic erythromycin, an important antibiotic widely used to treat chest infection, was discovered by a Filipino physician named Abelardo Aguilar in 1949. Erythromycin is especially useful for people who are allergic to penicillin and has saved millions of lives. Good work, buddy.
Nice.
Number 83.
Very nice.
The University of Santo Tomas in Manila was founded by Dominican monks in 1611. That makes it older than America's Harvard University, which was not founded until 1636. Number 84. In terms of student population, the University of Santo Tomas is also the world's largest Catholic university in a single campus. Mazel tov! Am I using that right? Number 85. During his visit to the Philippines in 2015, the concluding mass given by Pope Francis in Manila's Luneta Park on the 18th of January was attended by an estimated 6 million Filipinos. This became the largest ever papal gathering in history, surpassing a record set by Pope John Paul II during World Youth Day in 1995, which was also held in Luneta Park.
Number 86. Contestants from the Philippines have won numerous major international beauty pageant titles. 3 for Miss Universe, 6 for Miss International, 1 for Miss World, and 5 for Miss Earth titles.
Very nice.
Making it the second most successful nation behind the apparent stunners from Venezuela. Number 87. In 1992, Pepsi decided to combat low sales with a promotion they dubbed Number Fever, in which numbers printed on the inside of bottle caps corresponded to cash rewards. At the campaign's conclusion, the company announced that the grand prize of 1 million pesos would be awarded to whomever found a cap emblazoned with the number 349, of which only 1 would be released. However, due to a third-party manufacturing error, instead of producing a single 349 bottle cap, Pepsi ended up with over 800,000 of them. Number 88.
Wow.
Initially, Pepsi denied responsibility for the mistake and refused to pay up, which unsurprisingly sparked widespread outrage in the form of lawsuits, property damage, and even riots.
That's crazy. You know what? I'm not drinking Pepsi again. That's absolutely ridiculous. You should have awarded all those people that had that number 349 under that bottle cap, regardless, because the people couldn't do anything about it. Y'all made all that money off of the population, and then you're gonna award nobody anything? Oh, nah. That's what you call robbery. I don't like it.
The violence was so severe that several people lost their lives. Pepsi ultimately spent over 200 million Philippine pesos in settlements, not to mention the cost of the damage to their reputation.
That's crazy.
Number 89. A less upsetting cola-based Philippine fact regards Jazz Cola, a brand of soft drink produced by Pepsi rivals Coca-Cola exclusively for the Philippine market. The drink is available only in the Philippines and is in fact specifically targeted at consumers in the Visayas region in the middle of the country.
Interesting.
Some sources have reported that Jazz Cola fuels Visayan pride among its teen consumers. Number 90. In 1977, the entirety of Calawit Island in the western Philippines was declared to be a wildlife sanctuary and game reserve by the Marcos administration to save endangered animals in Kenya, Africa. The sanctuary contains both African and endemic Philippine wildlife, such as zebras, giraffes, gazelles, sea turtles, and Palawan peacock pheasants.
Number 91. In 2011, a group of Filipino dwarves led by Alejandro Deron Jr. announced their plan to establish the country's first colony for little people, in order to escape daily harassment and discrimination. At the time, Deron was a 35-year-old bartender working at the Hobbit House, the country's only restaurant run entirely by little people. Number 92. Back when the area now known as Texas was under Spanish colonial rule, it was also known as Nuevas Filipinas, or Nuevo Reino de Filipinas, respectively translating to New Philippines and New Kingdom of the Philippines.
Wow.
Eventually the name was dropped in favor of just Texas, because everything is bigger in Texas. Except the names of things. Number 93. On the 5th of December 1965, a 1-megaton nuclear bomb fell into the Philippine Sea close to Japan, when the attack jet to which it was attached accidentally fell off the carrier. The pilot's aircraft and the nuclear bomb were never recovered, and it wasn't until 1989 that the Pentagon revealed that this had even happened. Number 94. There's a popular souvenir that tourists can purchase in the Philippines known as a barrel man, which consists of a small statuette of a man stood inside a round wooden barrel. When the barrel is removed, the male figure inside is exposed, revealing a side-splittingly hilarious erection. Oh, how we laughed. How we laughed. Number 95. The Cagayan battles of 1582, which occurred in northern Luzon, are the only recorded battles known to have involved European infantry fighting against samurai warriors.
Number 96. Every nation in the world except the Philippines and the strange, tiny Catholic city-state of Vatican City allow for some form of divorce. Though Muslims in the Philippines do have the right to divorce in accordance with their religion, the only option available to most Filipinos who can't bear the sight of their former loved one is annulment. As such, the Philippines is the only UN nation in which divorce is generally illegal. Number 97.
That's crazy!
The Philippines accounts for roughly 43% of the planet's gin consumption. That's gin-credible. What? It's fact number 97. It's not all going to be gold, okay? Number 98. In 1844, the Philippines moved from one side of the international date line to the other, which had the curious effect of completely eliminating the 31st of December 1844 from the history of the Philippines. Number 99. According to a study carried out in 2013, 85% of people in the Philippines have a favourable view of the United States.
Wow.
Hilariously, the study found that 84% of Americans have a favourable view of their own country, making the Philippines the most pro-American country in the world, more so than America itself.
Whoa.
Number 100.
Wow.
On the 4th of May 2006, 3,738 women in Manila set the world record for the most women simultaneously breastfeeding. Muzzle tov! I don't know, I still feel like I'm not using it right.
Hey babies, it's fact 101. That's exciting, isn't it? In August of 2016, it was discovered that a Filipino fisherman had found the world's largest natural pearl and had kept it under his bed for 10 years entirely unaware of its worth. Now known as the Pearl of Puerto, the pearl weighs in at a staggering 34 kilograms.
Wow.
So that was 101 facts about the Philippines. Did you like it? Did you not? Let us know in the comments.
Yo, man, that was crazy. It was long, but like I really enjoyed it. I love the commentary because the commentary, you know, and their jokes and the tone of his voice, it didn't make it as boring as history can be. So I really enjoyed this. I'm very wowed out by the Philippines being like a pro-United States, you know, like they see the U.S. in a more positive light than people here in the U.S. see it. So that's very interesting. And I was talking to one of my friends, and I was just letting him know like a lot of the stuff that happens here, and he was very wowed out by it, even in regards to poverty, and the homeless population. He was very shocked because I guess a lot of Philippines see the U.S. as being a very wealthy or well-off country, which it is to a certain extent, but as every country, we're the same. We're just like the Philippines. We have the good and we have the bad, so I thought that's very interesting. What I also thought was very interesting was about President Marcos and how long it took him to get buried. That was crazy. I love that the Philippine Eagle. I love learning about that. I didn't know that. What else did not know? It was a lot. The whole Pepsi thing threw me off too. That was kind of irritating. Oh, but listen at this. This was the shocker for me. I think out of everything, the divorce in Philippines being illegal. What? So basically, if I marry someone and I hate their stinking guts, if you will, in the nice holy Jesus way, like I have to stay with them. Oh, that's crazy. Let me tell you something here. People get divorced left and right. Seriously. And there's people that remarry time and time again. You talk about 2 or 3 times. I would just give up after that, honestly. I would give up. So I thought that was very interesting. I absolutely love this. You have to let me know in the comments what was your favorite fact about the Philippines. Would love to know. All right, thank you so much for joining me for this long reaction. I hope you hung out into the end. If you hung out to the end, just type down below, I stayed into the end, and I wanted to shout you out just for that because this was long. So, and I know that the attention span of people is not that long, just in the days we live in. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hey, before you head out, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification. And again, you can always follow us on Instagram, and the handle is below. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.